Chapter 6, A Horrible Revenge. This time I'll appear as the headless lord, thought the ghost. I'll frighten them all. 70 years ago, I appeared as the headless lord in front of young Lady Barbara. She immediately ran away and never returned to Canterville Chase. It was great success. He took 3 hours to get ready, since he had to choose the right clothes carefully. Then, in the middle of the night, he walked silently to the twins' bedroom. He pushed the door open and a big, heavy jug of water fell on him. He was completely wet. Twins sat up in their beds and laughed loudly. They couldn't stop laughing. The poor ghost ran back to his secret room. He was wet and cold. The next day, he wasn't feeling well because he had a very bad cold. I can't frighten this American family, he thought sadly. I tried everything, but I failed. However, I must continue to haunt Canterville Chase. It's my job, and now I'll do it quietly. One night, he was downstairs in the hall. He saw a large photograph of Mr. and Mrs. Otis. Where are the old paintings of the Canterville family? He thought. These Americans know nothing about our long history. He wanted to go to the library to see if the blood stain was still there. But suddenly, 2 dark figures jumped out of a corner. Boo! They shouted loudly in his ear. The ghost was terribly frightened and jumped into the fireplace and climbed up the chimney to his room. After this horrible adventure, nobody saw him at night. The Otis family began to live a normal life and didn't think about the ghost anymore. Mr. Otis wrote a history of the American government. Mrs. Otis gave a wonderful party in the beautiful gardens of Canterville Chase. There was a lot of good American food and people played American games. Cecil, the young Duke of Cheshire, came to stay at Canterville Chase. Virginia rode her pony in the country with Cecil. He was in love with Virginia. Mr. Otis wrote to Lord Canterville. The ghost went away. Congratulations to you and your wife, answered the Lord. Everything seemed perfect at Canterville Chase, but Mr. Otis was very wrong. The ghost was still in his secret room, but he was tired and ill. He knew that Cecil was in the house. I frightened his grandfather, the old Duke of Cheshire, 100 years ago, he thought. Tonight, I'll dress like a horrible vampire and frighten the young Duke Cecil. I'll show him that I'm still terrifying. The ghost got ready to haunt the house again. But at the last moment, he remembered the terrible twins. So he decided to stay in his room forever. That night, Cecil slept well in his warm bed and dreamt about Virginia. End of chapter 6.